people always talk about the ripple effect, right? We always hear about the ripple effect or pay it forward. And so let's talk a little bit about how if you are studying wisdom, because we've both been School of Hard Knocks, and you're right, it's a heavy price, and it's not the path you want to take, but uh, we always say, oh, I guess I wish I would have knew that before, or if I would have learned that X years ago, I would have made a different choices. But from a ripple effect, how can wisdom or a piece of wisdom, because you say you study in your book, it's laid out, one piece of wisdom every day for 30 days. How can that create a ripple effect to actually make things better for the person, their family, their community, and then, ultimately the world?
It's a beautiful question, Cliff. The truth is that every time you make a wise choice, you bring life to the person that's with you and the person that's going to be with them, that's going to be with them, that's going to be with them. Wisdom is associated with life. It's associated with sustenance and abundance. It's associated with the things that people want and do not know how to get. So wisdom is like this key that unlocks a treasure chest. Now, it's not just for you, because wisdom teaches you to receive for the sake of sharing. Either a person is going to receive for the self alone, which is a very selfish, limited, short-sighted viewpoint, or you're going to receive for the sake of sharing, which is an expansive, generous viewpoint.
And isn't that something too is becoming more difficult, because we are in a consumption society, that we are, with the advent of phones, and it's everything is turned on to us. How we consuming it, what do we look like? Social media is all, there's the image of how do we present ourselves, and I find that interesting, because I find that this is a way to maybe to halt that a little bit, or get people to go, well, let's stop thinking about how people perceive me, but how I can help people.
I love this because what you're pointing at is the materialism that kind of permeates a lot of the perspective of our current society. Now, material reality is maybe 1% of reality. Spiritual reality is like 99% of reality. The truth is so much bigger than what is material in front of you. Material, a chair looks solid. The truth is there's more emptiness with just energy in the chair than there is material mass in the chair. So we're kind of getting a perspective that is more real, more truthful than the perspective of our society. And because it's bigger, because it encompasses more, because it makes room for everything we are, not just our appearance. As you said, we're so much into packaging, we forgot truth in packaging. I mean, you buy a box of Cheerios, you don't expect cornflakes inside. We're almost taught to portray ourselves as Cheerios when we're really cornflakes. By looking at wisdom's viewpoint, which is human dignity, every person has value in the perspective of wisdom. When you look at that, what you begin to see is a very different, very interconnected, very light-filled world with pieces of light at everything you see.
That's, I love that. What for people, because you've been studying wisdom obviously for a long time, and you probably then attract people that have the same mindset and want to learn. You become a teacher. What are some of the benefits that you've seen for yourself or other people that have embraced this at any degree to be on a quest to gain wisdom?
I think this is a profound question, Cliff, because the benefits of wisdom, of course, both Pirkei Avot and Mishay, both of these books, and in fact, wisdom in general, all of the sages associate wisdom with life, with longevity, with health, with happiness. A person who has wisdom has a happiness. We don't harm others. We respect. We bow to the magnificence in the world around us, and that gives you a different way of looking at things. But certainly, financial wealth is an aspect of wisdom. Certainly, health is an aspect of wisdom. Certainly, a viewpoint that sees the Creator and perceives the light of the Creator in creation. That ability to perceive the underlying glory of everything we see, that's part of wisdom. Wisdom gives you glasses to look at life through and make choices that lead to health, wealth, well-being, happiness, peace, all of those things and more.
That's fantastic. I mean, that's what a great way to look at it. And you're right. That's what people want. I mean, that's what they when they look. People say they want more, but they really don't know what more is, or they haven't evaluated what more means to them. I have a question. We've worked together for a while. How did the sages get to be so smart?
Well, first of all, they memorized the truths of their day. They were very much an oral society, and you spent a lifetime memorizing truth, speaking truth, talking truth back and forth with people who were your peers in brilliance. So the sages were not only brilliant, they were focused. And what they were focused on was what is the mechanism of the operation of the soul? What is the mechanism? What is the technology of the energy of life? And so they developed these answers and they tried them with one another. They went back and forth and back and forth. So one sage, Yohanan ben Zakkai, asks another. So he has 5 students. He says, I want an answer from you. What is the most important thing to have? And the first answer that came was Ein Tova, a good eye, the ability to look everywhere and see the good. Now, what's interesting about that is a very solid answer that's based in Torah, it's based in wisdom, it's based uh, in in interaction, in human communication. When you look at someone and you see the good in that person, that brings an energy bridge between you and that person. And all kinds of love can travel across that energy bridge. And so that quality of being able to look and see the good, that is an example of how wisdom operates and how it brings out more wisdom. And so that oral ability of every word being valuable, every word you speak being sacred, and holding one another to that standard. What an interesting society, what an interesting group of people traveling together toward wisdom.